So I'm just gonna talk a bit about what it's like to be a student at the university. Next slide, please. So my name is Olivia, and sorry, I'm a second year Triple E student here at the university, and I've only been at the university for 2 years, but I think that's enough time to get to know the city and how things work. So, as Jess said, I'm a Beatrice Schilling Scholarship Awardee, and through that, I've been able to become a student ambassador, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here today. Next slide, please. So, first of all, I had to decide what I wanted to study. And I thought that I really wanted to work with the power industry and renewable energies. I find that very interesting. So I decided to do either triple E or so electrical and electronic engineering or electrical engineering. And I also wanted to improve my English. So I decided to come to the UK. Next slide, please.
It should work, Olivia, and the controls seem to be with you.
I'm sorry, it's not.
It's okay, not a problem. I'll move over. There you go.
Thank you. And I'm originally from Spain, but I'm not from mainland Spain, but from the Canary Islands, which are off the coast of Africa. So coming from such a small place, I thought I had to choose properly where I wanted to go. And after doing my research through different universities at the UK, I chose Manchester, not only because it looked like a nice place to live in and a very good university, but also because it had direct flights from my island, from Tenerife. So that's one of the bigger reasons I chose to come to Manchester. So once I knew I was coming to Manchester, I got my offer. I got very excited, but I was also kind of overwhelmed and I panicked a bit because there were so many questions that I had and so many changes that were going to happen to me. So, where was I going to live? How was I going to make friends? Was I going to fit in? And I would have to do this all in a different language. So, first of all, I wanted to pick where to study, where to live. And Sanisha talked about this before. So I'm just gonna go through it a bit on how it looks from the student side of view. So the city campus is very nice for engineering students because it's very close to the North Campus, which is the engineering area. And it's also a 5-10 minute walk from the city, which is very nice. Then there's the Victoria Park area. It's a much nicer residential area, and it's very quiet, and it's a 35-minute walk to North Campus and 20 to 25 to the main campus. And then there's Fallowfield, which is definitely farther. I would definitely bus from Fallowfield to any campus, but Fallowfield is more of the party area in Manchester, so there's lots of things going on every day. So if that's what you're looking for, then Fallowfield is your place. So I lived in a very small hall in Victoria Park, which is called St. Ansel Home, and it was very nice to live in there. I think that, well, the area was very nice and it was quiet, but my hall had a bar and it would hold socials every couple of weeks. So the community there was great, and I think it's very, very important to live in a student hall at least for your first year, because that's where you're gonna definitely meet most people and find a friend group that it's probably gonna last you for your whole stay at university and probably even longer than that. And once class started, I'm sometimes a slow learner. So for me, pass was a great thing. So as Sinisha said before, it's just a group of second and third years that are helping a group of first years once a week. So they would just give some help and some advice, either if it was with coursework, with labs, or even with student lives. So, for example, I remember one time I had a digital system design lab and I had no idea what we were going to do and the concepts. So I walked in and they explained everything to me and everything was much clearer. So after a couple of months, and after we got to know each other, I would just come in for I would come in with maybe a couple of questions, but also just for a nice chat with other people and just some comfort from my course mates who were going through the same thing as I was going through, or they had already been through it. And how to meet people at the university, that's definitely societies. So if you want to meet new people with your engineering interests, you should definitely go for the Triple E Society, and they hold different academic and social events. But Liam's gonna talk to you about that in a little bit. And there's also the Robotics Society. So if you're interested in robots and programming, and maybe if you don't have a big knowledge about that yet, they have different workshops and they guide you through a small project such as building a small buggy. And but also if you already know how to program and maybe you have a project in mind, you would just go up to them and tell them your idea and they will just help you carry it out and help you find the components. So those are two great societies to just join. But in my free time, I like to do things that are not related to my course so that I can just clear my mind. And I really like dancing, and I already dance at home. So when I got to the university and seeing so many different things to do, I thought I would definitely join some of them. And during my first year, I tried something different for me, which was ballroom and Latin dances. And I went to the society with a couple of friends, and we ended up competing in December that year. It was a very fun experience. And then this year, as a second year, I wanted to go back and compete as a team. So I auditioned for the advanced street dance team from the dance society, which is called Hypnotic. And we were gonna go to 4 competitions through February and March, but we could only go to 3 of them, which were Edinburgh, Manchester, and Liverpool. And we got first place for 3 times in a row, and that was a great experience. So the students union at the university has so many different societies, and whether they're sports or academic societies or music or even cultural societies. So, for example, there's a Spanish society too, and many other societies. But for example, if you don't really want to commit to one of them, but you wanted to exercise, there's Participate, which is a great program that has different sports and activities throughout the week. And they're completely free. So you just walk in, and I went to a couple of yoga classes last year, and you would just walk in, have your class, and not feel that big responsibility of having to be back the week after. So that was also very, very good. And if you don't have enough with that, there's other many things to do in Manchester. So one of the things that I enjoyed the most is concerts. I coming from a small island, there's not many artists that come around. So being in Manchester, that's such a big city, they have concerts and live music all the time. So I would go to maybe a concert every couple of months, and depending on the artist, of course, but they're usually cheap, which was a good idea. It was great for me. So I've really enjoyed that. There's also lots of pubs that have live music and stand-up shows and comedians. That's also great to do. There's lots of great restaurants all over the city. There's a curry mile around the Victoria Park area, and they have different Indian and Arab food places, which are very, very nice and usually cheaper than in the city. And there's also Chinatown, and also all over the place, there's different uh, Chinese, Vietnamese, Japanese, Thai food places, which are very, very nice. And there's, of course, museums and other smaller activities such as mini golfing or go-karting. So there's anything you can think of, basically. And maybe just not in Manchester, but also outside Manchester, there's lots of things to do since the city is in the middle of England. You can take a train almost anywhere. So taking weekend trips to Edinburgh or London are very fun. But also if you like hiking, there's the Peak District just an hour south and the Lake District a couple of hours north. So they're both very, very beautiful. I would just not recommend doing that in January when it's freezing cold, but they're both very, very pretty. So, yeah, that's all I have to talk about. I'm just very happy that I chose Manchester and I've gotten the opportunity to do so many different things, such as being here and things that I never imagined, and meeting people that are also very different to me and form great friends that are probably going to last me very long. And any tips for students coming to the university is definitely be on top of your work every week, but also make the most out of your years at university because that there's so many things to do and that's what they're here for.